My name is Kimberly. So I just finished reading this book, and there was something that I liked specifically in it because it embodies life, and it's this. If she yields to the current and allowed it to take her downstream, she would die. If she wanted to stay afloat, she will have to fight her way to the shore. If you yield to the current and go with the flow, follow the crowd, it will lead you downstream to destruction. The Bible even says that in the book of Matthew, the wide and narrow gate, wide is the gate that many enter into, but leads to destruction. I know that a lot of people don't want to acknowledge the Bible because they say it's man-made, which is true. I cannot refute that. But what book is not? The world is mostly ran by humans. The Bible is a book. It's a journal, kind of like Anne Frank. Anne Frank was a journal that was published into a book. The Bible is that. All books contain knowledge. You can learn from anything. It doesn't matter what it is. You can learn, it does not have to be a self-help, a textbook, or nonfiction. It can be any kind of thing, any book you pick up. Most books contain a theme and a message for a reader to grasp, to comprehend what the author is trying to portray. The story is for a reader to easily relate to, hopefully. The ways of society, what intrudes the world, what people chase after, tends to be detrimental, shallow, and escapism, such as sex, drugs, and money. For example, if you smoke a specific drug, your body will build up a high tolerance to that drug to where you no longer can feel that high. So now you can no longer feel how you once did when you first started. And that goes for anything you do too much of. It can get tiresome and boring. That is why balance is key. Not too much and not too little. Going with the current, following the crowd, it can go against your authentic self. Society is just a bunch of people trying to impress other people. So they're repressing themselves, hiding who they are, hiding their true selves in order for them to become likable, and so they're not considered or perceived as weird, different, or become ostracized. And that is why the world is shallow as it is, because there's no realness in it. People are only doing things based on how they will be perceived to their peers, for their approval and validation of people just like them, which is sad, unfortunately. If you decide to blend in with the world, you have lost. Think of it like a machine. A machine is created to do only what it's created to do. There's no feelings or emotions involved. They just do what they're supposed to do. So if you decide to blend on in, to become one with them, to be like them, wanting their validation, you're doing what society has programmed you to do. The people who have made it have brought along some kind of value to the marketplace. We are all born with gifts and talents, but also we are human, so we are also born with a choice on whether we want to reach a high potential, or we can live in default, forfeit ourselves, and just go with the flow. And so if you decide to repress yourselves, hide who you are, put on a new face over your old one and face the world, those natural gifts and talents that you have to offer the world is hidden by the new one you created. That new face you have created, eventually you will start to believe that new person. But there's gonna come a time where the person inside is going to fight her way through. And by that time, it will be too late. And that's where regrets come in. The people who walk on the wide gate are the ones who are not thinking logically. They're just doing something, sacrificing themselves for something else. They have become numb. Then they are lost, have lost, and are wandering. Wherever the wind blows, they blow. On every new trend that comes along, they're on it. They're robotic, living a robotic life. Wake up, go to work, do it all over again. Robotic. Following, followers, the mass majority, conformity, and no self. In order to fight against the current, trust it will be difficult. To survive, you're gonna have to fight. In order to fight, you're gonna need a firm foundation to stand on. If you have nothing to believe in strongly, you will fall for anything. And as cliche as that statement is, it is true. You will get pulled under easy, crabs in a bucket. That wide gate is familiar. The wide path is familiar. It's certainty. The people who walk on there, it's the same. There's no thinking. They're following after the people who have paved the way. But the ones who have paved the way are the ones who were considered, are the ones who were perceived as weird and different and were ostracized. It was these people who stood alone, who stayed true to themselves. That value that they brought to the marketplace, if it wasn't for them staying true to themselves, that wide path would not have been created. If it wasn't for the people walking on the narrow path that leads to life, which is only few, there's gonna be more followers than there are leaders. The people on the narrow path who's walking on there, the few, are mostly the ones who are visionaries and leaders, the ones who paved the way. These are the ones who were mocked, ridiculed, taunted. They were the face in the opposition. They stood alone in the face of opposition of the majority, and they did not give up who they were. If it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for these people, the world that we live in now would not have even been a world we could even imagine. If it wasn't for the people walking on the few walking on the narrow path, the world would have been destructed. It only takes one. It takes one person, authentically them, who fought against the current in order for them to make a change in the world. You cannot make a change in the world if you have blended in and been one with them. If anything, they have programmed you to do what they wanted you to do. You lost yourself. You forfeited that part. But eventually you will regret it.